Well, good evening there, Pipe Pals. How are you doing? Old Holy Smoking Pipe Padre saying greetings and good evening to you. Well, I'm making this video. Hopefully I'm making a video. It's a beautiful, beautiful autumnal evening, and I'm smoking my 1945 K Woody pipe. And in it I'm smoking a little nightcap. Pretty appropriate, huh? Yeah, nightcap. Okay. Well, and it's quite an enjoyable smoke. It's been a while since I've even fired up a pipe, probably at least a week, or maybe even more. But I just thought, boy, tonight would be one of those perfect nights, perfect fall evenings to go ahead and really indulge myself in a pipe. I've been busy with parish things, of course, but mostly my other computer died about 4 weeks ago, and I just got it back about a week ago. So anyway, the bottom line is that I've just been kind of juggling a lot of things in my life, and just haven't had a chance to really make videos. And I wanted to get back to some of you. Some of you have been so kind in your comments, and some of you just had some basic comments and questions. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about this K Woody here. That nightcap is pretty good stuff. I've had this pipe sitting in my little, I have a little walk-in closet back there. And the last time I smoked this pipe was probably maybe a month ago. And I probably smoked this pipe about 6-7 times in the last year and a half that I've had it. And like all calabash pipes, they're, meerschaum bowls, and they're true gourd. I actually saw a how do you explain it? It was a fake calabash. I didn't see it at the Briar Patch. Certainly the Briar Patch wouldn't sell something like that, but I think I went to one of these like generic cigarette places, like sells cigarettes wholesale. It's kind of like just a generic tobacco shop, not really a pipe shop or a cigar shop, but they just sell tobacco products, kind of cheap tobacco products. Anyway, I saw a calabash, and it looked like could be a really fascinating, buy. Anyway, picked it up, and the gourd was not really a gourd. It was I think it was like a plastic kind of a thing, but it was thick, and it was fake. And the meerschaum thing, I think, was actually like a kind of like a porcelain thing. I mean, the thing weighed like a Sherman tank. Hopefully this is still working. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the video back here. Oh, come on. So if you still see me, great. So I'll keep making this video. But what happened was the thing went to sleep again. I know some of you have talked about get caffeinated or caffeine or whatever, and all you need to do is just set your settings like I'm doing right now, but I forgot to do that, so I apologize. Okay. All right. So actually what I probably needed to do is just make the settings really small, so that way I keep a video at least under 60 minutes, something small. So anyway, getting back to my K Woody here. I had probably let it sit for probably a month, and anyway, I've never had any real problems with it at all. I have a couple other calabashes, but they don't have the infamous, I guess what we call this is the stinger. Yeah, we call that the stinger. Yeah, it kind of looks like a stinger. Yeah. Well, tonight I was cleaning out the pipe, and all of a sudden I tried to make sure that everything is all clear and flowing, and all of a sudden something got stuck, just fast when I was drawing in, and just went, kind of like your arteries clogging up or something. And I thought, well, what the heck is that? So I, blew back, thinking it was a piece of tobacco, and tried to draw again. Nothing. It was just solid. It was just fast, like a valve had stuck. So I ran a pipe cleaner through it, and boy, let me tell you, I've never seen, believe it or not, tar. I mean, now we're talking tar in that little contraption there. So I actually had to resort to some good old-fashioned white lightning, some old Everclear, and used that, soaked a couple of pipe cleaners, ran it through. But let me tell you, it was something else. So anyway, but obviously got the problem solved, and enjoying some nightcap. I think I told you that. Enjoying some nightcap tonight on this beautiful fall evening. Okay. Boy, that's good. That's really good. So one little pipe tip there. Get some good old Everclear and clean out your K-Woodies, folks. I did notice, though, sad to say, that as I opened this tin, this is almost at the very end of this tin. I probably opened it maybe about 9 months or a year ago. And it was pretty dry. And I was a little bit, no big surprise there. I don't have it really in a really good airtight container. And that leads me to tell you about this. These little mason jars, these are the Care, I guess, and you can get, there's different brands. There's Ball, I guess there is different ones, mason jars. But I'll tell you that and they're cheap investment, folks. So I would recommend, and as many other people would recommend, this is the ticket to keeping your tobacco super duper fresh, okay? And this in here is that rare essence of Stonehaven. And I did crack it open just earlier tonight just to see if it was still moist and flavorful. And it's just as moist and flavorful, take my word for the flavor part, but moist as it was. Oh, I love the smell of Stonehaven. Oh, man, that's fall. That's fall in a jar, folks. That's autumn in a jar. Delicious. So, anyway, but this has been at least 6 or 7 months, and beautiful Stonehaven. So, just letting you know, if you're kind of new to the hobby, and you've discovered, as I did tonight, that some of your tins, after a period of time, are drying out. Well, basically what most of us do is if we're not going to dedicate, sometimes I'll say, okay, I'm going to just, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to smoke this, okay? And I make a concerted effort to, when I'm going to light a pipe up, I'll do this. Now, I only do a nightcap and haunted bookshop and soda bed. And there's a couple other really strong, stout English blends that I only smoke, obviously, at night because, it's like, 8 o'clock at night. And if I get a little woozy, from that little nicotine hit there, I'll just be able to just go to bed. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. So, anyway, a couple pipe things, and then, some people, I have a couple of calabash pipe holders, but they're currently holding other calabashes. So you're probably wondering, well, so if you had to go answer the phone or answer the call of nature, it's kind of hard to just sit that down on the counter like that. And also, this bowl, I almost, my heart stopped once. It was cool, and I was going to clean it out, right? The ashes and everything. Yeah, I took it over to the old commode there and turned it upside down and tapped out the ashes. And then all of a sudden, it was just a miracle that my hand was still under the pipe, because after this had cooled, the little gasket kind of wasn't as tight, and it just went whoop and just plopped right into my palm. Had my palm not been there, this probably would have fallen and cracked and broke, and it's been a bit of a heartbreaking experience. So calabash gourd, true gourd calabash pipes, these are removable. And I can't do it now because it's hot. And it's fast in there, which is the way it's supposed to be. But sometimes when they cool, they begin to shrink again. And so unfortunately, or expand, whatever. And the grip gets really light and loose sometimes, and that if you're not careful and you're not thinking about it, you pull your tip your pipe over to tap out the ashes or scoop them out, and this is loose. It's just basically sitting in there, and you can without knowing it, and unfortunately have it just drop right out like a rock, and not a good thing. Okay. Well, I just had a few folks. I'm going to reduce. I'm watching, actually looking at the monitor here, so but I actually am going to talk about a couple of some folks, nice people who sent me some questions, comments on my old videos there. And sometimes I guess I do the lazy man's version of just answering them, because sometimes maybe other people have the same question. Got a interesting comment, or a question actually, from Perzim, P-R-Z-E-M, Perzim. And he says, where do you find money for expensive pipes and tobacco? ? Well, that's a good question, because I think a lot of people would assume that all padres are like super, super, super duper poor. And we don't, believe it or not, we don't make a lot of money. We don't go into this quote unquote, and I say this in a kind of a facetious way, business. And I'm being facetious when I say business, so please, if you're going, oh gosh, this guy's so secular, he's no good. But we actually do get a monthly stipend, salary. It's not much, but it's enough, And we're allowed to, buy whatever we want. I mean, within reason. I know some padres from Ireland used to collect Waterford crystal, which is it's a kind of an avocation, They'd have very, very nice tumblers for drinking their Bushmills and their powers and all that kind of stuff. And then if they passed away, they just will that collection to somebody. Mostly family would get it. And it would have some value. So in some ways, some people would see it as an investment and something you can hand on to people. I would have to say that if I am collecting, and I don't, to be honest with you, I mean, yeah, they're not cheap pipes, but then again, they're nice pipes, they're good pipes. I'm grateful and I enjoy them. And perhaps someday, I'll will them to somebody, or, I have some dear friends who have some young men in their family, and they're lawyers and engineers, and they're fascinated with pipes and pipe smoking, and because of me, I guess. And so anyway, maybe they'll inherit those, or my best buddy, and he has some sons that might want to have them someday. I don't know. Or I could even turn around and maybe sell them and take the money and give that to somebody. So anyway, but we are allowed to have some possessions. Now, if I was an order priest, say like a Franciscan or a Dominican or a Jesuit, then my personal property would be pretty much at the beck and call to the community. But I'm not a religious order priest. I'm a diocesan priest. Okay. So if that makes sense, great. If it doesn't, well then I've clearly muddied the water for you. I apologize, but that's just trying to answer Perzim's question there. Gentleman scholar Gary, my friend, it's always good to see you, and I'll try to get another video to you if you're interested. Thank you for your video. It was a lovely, enjoyable video. I felt like I was getting ready to take off there. I was starting to get a little bit airsick there. I was wondering when you were going to roll out the drinks cart and give me a soda or a coffee or something. But he has a very interesting job. Venezuela Carlos. Let's see what Carlos said. He was talking about haunted bookshop. And, you know, you hit the nail on the head there, my friend. You talked about something that I've always experienced with haunted bookshop. And that is the first part of haunted bookshop is extremely flavorful. It has a really nice, you know, again, that has that unique flavor. But it does change mid-bowl. It just kind of goes a little flat. And I think you said that it changed. You said you aged some of your haunted bookshop, as I have done. And it seems to have lost some of its flavor. It flattens out at a bit towards the middle to the end, which I experienced the same thing. But it burns well, and you're right. So again, haunted bookshop is one of those blends. I don't know. I feel like I keep repeating myself. Because it's so intriguing that I guess I keep coming back to it. Okay, Christian Bassette. I hope I pronounced your last name right. What did he say? He just he was laughing at my Borkum Riff incident number 2, where I attempted to smoke this rather harsh Borkum Riff, and I thought it might kill me, and I did a little bit of hamming up, and I guess he was kind of making a comment towards that. The Belgrade 1, and he said, some very nice comments. Especially enjoyed your longer videos. I would sit in my office and work while I was listening and watch them. Anyhow, I just wanted to tell you I've enjoyed your presence on YouTube. Well, I certainly hope that you're not signing off. That almost sounds a little bit like you're saying arrivederci or something. I sure hope that's not the case. You know, maybe I'll just take this opportunity to say this. I don't consider myself a pipe presenter that really contributes a lot. I make a few videos from time to time. I used to make a lot more. And I noticed that, you know, again, if you look at Jay's life of the average pipe presenter YouTube person, and I think even Matches even talked a little bit about that whole cycle of you get into it, and it's a lot of fun in the beginning, and it is. You get the chance to meet a lot of people. I think you come in at different times, and I always feel like the people I kind of started off with, you know, kind of like a class. And I think I wouldn't say all of us are still out there. I think a lot of us are still circling. We're still orbiting, but I think our orbits have gotten a little bit larger, and so we kind of pass by a little less infrequently. But we're still out there. We're still in the pipe community YouTube space, you know, universe. It's just that, you know, again, we have other real life things to do, just like everybody else does, just like you do. And but we still like presenting when we can and talking about one of our favorite hobbies. And to me, autumn, fall, whatever you'd like to call it, is just the perfect pipe smoking weather. I mean, I just think it's awesome. I almost think they need to move the International Pipe Day to the fall somewhere, you know. So, and then we have the Diabetic Man. And he says, welcome to the community, Father. God bless you. Well, thank you, sir, and welcome to you, too. Neanderthal, 17. I hope I said that right. I think it says, you look like Tommy Lee Jones. Yes, I've been told that many, many times. And, oh, by the way, I was going to say, and Tommy Lee Jones, you know, he's a little older than I am. And I want to just say this in passing. yesterday was the end of September, and as many of you know, I've been doing juice fasting and intermittent fasting, and Cabal 1, Chris, I'd like to try to get a video out to you. Thank you for your comments. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm going to say a little hello to Glenn M. Thank you for watching as well. And Herminator, old buddy, hope you're doing well in Deutschland. But I was working on losing weight. I started off on Ash Wednesday, February 13th. Believe it or not, 270 pounds. And my big goal, and it's not really a goal, but it's like a milestone, and it's a major one, was to be under 200 pounds by the end of September. And yesterday being the 30th of September, I stepped on the scale and I was 195. So one of these days I'll show you before and after kind of pictures. Me in my old pants and me in my new trousers as a picture. But I won't do that now because I'm still working on obtaining another goal. And the other goal is to get down to my ideal weight. My body mass index in the beginning was like, I think, 33, which is the obese category. And I'm just hovering now at 25, which is overweight. And then once I get under 25, I'll be average. And then my next goal is to actually get lean with losing the last 25 pounds. And I've been able to do that doing the intermittent fasting. Those of you who are interested and you want to learn a little bit more about it, just in brief, you can go on Google and just look up intermittent fasting or the new fast diet and check it out. For me, it seems to be the answer to maintaining and losing weight. Plus, I've been walking quite a bit. I started off about 2 miles, almost 8 months ago. And over the last 7.5 months, I've increased that to almost 8 miles a day. I got to be honest, I do have a cheat day or a couple of cheat meals. And I don't try to get too fanatical about it. You know, it was funny. I used to get really super fanatical about the weight loss, and if I fell, quote unquote, if I fell and I had a piece of something tempting, or I ate something that somebody offered me, which happens an awful lot as a padre, I would just feel like, oh, I failed, and then I would allow that failure to drive me kind of into a depression, and I'd just say to hell with it, and then I just start using that as an excuse to go back to my old eating patterns. So now what I do is, if I have a splurge day, or if I have somebody has a special birthday, like a couple weeks ago, I'll have a piece of cake, and I'll try to eat what's set before me. And so far, but I always go back to the fasting. Usually it's every other day, and it seems to be the answer for me after all these years of struggling to find a diet, quote unquote, that works. And this seems to be the one thing that has worked. I usually would do 3.5 months, maybe 4 at the most, and then I'd quit. I'd reach a certain goal, and then I would just stop doing what I was doing to lose the weight and gain this new sense of health. And unfortunately, I just put it all back on. So the real goal isn't simply just to lose the weight, but it's really to maintain the new weight that I'm wearing now and really enjoying. Let me just relight this old wonderful calabash here. Somebody asked me the other day about the radio station in the background. There's a couple of wonderful radio stations that you can listen to over the internet. You can stream them. One is Minnesota Public Radio, which is interesting. A lot of our programming on the weekends and late at night comes from Minnesota Public Radio. So it's kind of like we get the best of both worlds. And then we have Capital Public Radio here in Sacramento, California. So anyway, if you're interested in the music that I play, in the evenings it's kind of a jazz mix, but mostly it's classical. Okay, Brouhaha 88 Says, hello, Padre. Would you say that Sillam's is as sweet as Mississippi River? Well, I really can't, make the comparison because I've never tried Mississippi River. But I'm a big Sillam's guy. As many of you know, it's a delicious blend if you've never tried Sillam's Black. And what I call affectionately the Van Helsing blend. More Wolfbane Van Helsing. Children of the night, what lovely music they make. So, anyway, wish I could make a comparison, but I can't. And I had a gentleman, the RBW62. Greetings to you, RBW62. Had a lot of interesting things to say about sin. I have to say I am in complete agreement with you theologically, so God bless you. John Cassian, and he says, greetings, Padre. Just discovered your YouTubes. What great fun. And he says, one of my fabs is Savinelli Deluxe Milano 121 KS. Keep up the good work. So I would assume that Savinelli Deluxe Milano is a pipe. Or it could be a tobacco. I don't know if Savinelli makes tobacco. I'm looking at getting a Savinelli 320 here pretty soon. Theo Baccanist. Hey, my friend, you know what? He was talking about, Sunday, and there was a meetup of our pipe presenters here in Sacramento, and I missed out. And it wasn't because I didn't want to be there. One, I haven't checked my YouTube account for about a couple weeks. But Sundays, every other Sunday, I'm on what I call the late masses. So unfortunately, the 1 o'clock meeting, I was celebrating Mass by 1:30 in the afternoon here at Good Shepherd. So I can't bilocate yet, but Eric, maybe one of these days. But we definitely will get together and have a dinner. I'd love to meet you and your lovely wife. And again, Mr. RBW62, he talked about Mr. Morietti pipes, and yes, I'm familiar with his pipes, and I've seen many of his videos, and he makes some awesome, awesome pipes. And if you're getting one, I'm jealous, okay? And also, a couple of the pipe presenters I have bought pipes from, Daft Lily 1, Giovanni Pipes. He made a wonderful cherry wood for me, and of course, the one and only Mr. Joe Case made a recent cherry wood pipe for me, and I love it, just absolutely love it. So that's kind of basically the let me call up my see if this is still working here. It looks like it's still working. Just kind of per Gringe. By the way, you see my angel in the background there. Oops. There's my angel back there. Oops. There we go. And tomorrow is our Feast of the Guardian Angels. And I was putting together my latest YouTube offering on my other channel, Stevenson RF. And so I do my little homilizing on those, more formally homilizing on those. But I also like to develop some thoughts that kind of go a little bit beyond what I might normally say on a Sunday. Only because I can kind of ruminate, I guess, not cogitate and ruminate, But one of the things that another thing I've been doing in the regards to diet and health and wellness and weight loss and diet and all that stuff, I've been listening to a lot of really interesting videos on YouTube. And also I found some interesting folks that have talked about weight loss. There was a guy named John Gabriel, who was a 400-pound man. And they do definitely have pictures of him before and after, and I don't believe they're photoshopped. But he has a book out called The Gabriel Method. Kind kind of interesting. Here we are celebrating angels. Saint, archangels, Gabriel, Michael. Anyway, John Gabriel. And there's another guy called Craig Beck. Anybody ever heard of Craig Beck? He's an interesting fellow. He's got lots of different videos on how to kick the booze habit, how to lose weight, just all sorts of interesting audiobooks that he has. But both John Gabriel and Craig Beck, they talk about something in regards to weight loss that I've never heard before. Maybe many of you have heard this component, this element to it. But it's all about the subconscious mind and how that, how we have the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And basically what John Gabriel says and what Craig Beck says is that our subconscious mind either sees us as thin or fat. And people that do gain weight have what he calls our fat programs that keep us obese, overweight, what have you. There we go. And we need to reprogram those that subconscious part of our minds, because if we know that at a fundamental level that's how we see ourselves, and John Gabriel talks about there's lots of reasons why people gain weight and keep weight on. A lot of emotional problems, stress related. Basically what it really boils down to is that if you're heavy, if you're overweight, you're obese, it's because at a very deep level in your subconscious mind, your body sees that as protection, interestingly enough. And John Gabriel was 410 pounds, and now he's down to like 165 pounds. He's kept it off for 7 years. But they show pictures of the guy, and the guy now looks like he's this Mr. Adonis, Atlas kind of guy. He's got the that classic V shape in his torso, and he's got the defined abs and everything. Not a drop of fat on him, really. I mean, he's very defined. But it was just amazing, and but he talks about you need to reprogram and turn off the fat programs, basically, in your subconscious. Craig Beck says almost the same thing. And what they have, in addition to their audiobooks, are these hypnosis parts of their audiobooks that you play as you go to sleep at night. And you just go to sleep. And you don't worry about trying to, most times when you're listening to a lecture, you're kind of taking mental notes and stuff. You just kind of let this wash over you, and it kind of goes deep into your subconscious, and it kind of helps you to reprogram that fundamental thinking about how you see yourself in regards to the weight you carry. And I have to say, I'm no hypnotherapist, and I have no training in such things. But many, many years ago, I found one on self-confidence. And I've always been kind of an introverted person. I think most people that smoke pipes and listen to classical music probably fall in that category. But I remember just listening to this program for a number of months as I would go to sleep, and there wasn't a lot of, I don't remember what was going on, but they did say that there were going to be these very subliminal, positive messages that you would just be listening to. There was actually some really beautiful program music And back then it was back when the days of Walkman, but long before we had digital MP3 players. But there was a little pop the tape in there, and then the tape would, turn off, and somewhere in the middle of the night, maybe after an hour or so, and you'd be fast asleep. And I have to say that I did notice something different in regards to a little bit more of a better sense of confidence. And it seemed to help. And I just kind of was kind of like grateful, and then I went on, So anyway, so as I kind of got into this by accident, as I was, learning more about health and diet and wellness and losing weight and staying in shape and all that stuff, I'm finding that some of these people are also dealing with that component, that subconscious component of weight loss. And I kind of think, to be honest with you, for a long time, I have struggled to lose weight and to keep it off. And I don't know if there's any real magic bullets out there. But I do think that there's a lot more to it than just, calories in, calories out. There's a whole lot more to it than just trying to follow some kind of a regimented diet loss program. And I have to say that as a result of listening to these audio books with these little hypnotic portions that usually follow right after the book, I think there's been some positive results. That's all I can say. And I think it ties in, this week for those of you who follow kind of a faith component in your life. The whole issue about the disciples asking Jesus about faith and how can they increase their faith. And anyway, it's just an interesting thing. Faith is not like something that's, it's not like it's not a volume thing. It's not a size thing. It's like I have a little bit, I want more. It's even more powerful than that. It's sort of like he kind of tries to make a point, saying, well, even if you had faith, even if your faith was small, if you considered your faith small like a mustard seed, you could still say to the sycamore tree, be uprooted and thrown into the sea, and it would obey you. And I think that it's a lot more to do with that deeper part of our lives, that maybe you want to call it the subconscious part of your life, your spirit. But a lot of people get stopped because they look at volume, they look at size. And if you do that, you miss the point altogether, I think. And I think that's what he's trying to say. Is like, what he's trying to say is you already have it. Don't look to get more, because what you already have is enough. What you need to do is exercise the faith that you already have. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I throw that out there. That's a freebie for all you folks out there that watch these corny Padre Francis Holy Smoking Pipe Padre videos. Well, listen, thanks for watching. I sure hope you're having a wonderful fall wherever you are in the world. And, send me a little comment. Tell me what you're smoking in the fall. What kind of tobaccos. And you got a favorite fall pipe? I think I have what I affectionately call my October pipe. I think I smoked that not too long ago in one of my videos. But I just think that pipe smoking in fall are just a perfect marriage of enjoyment of life. Okay, well, that's all for now. Thanks for putting up with my Autunmal ramblings. I thank you very much for your patience, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, and light up your world, light up your pipe tonight. Bye-bye.